About 7.5 feet, and we're going to drop them and see what happens. I guess now I can look in 2 different directions at the same time. All right, as always, thanks for joining. Well, winter has finally hit us here in Michigan. It is 5 degrees this morning. Eesh. But today we are going to be testing out 2 popular name brand binoculars. One being Vortex, the second one, TEMU. These guys right here cost me less than $25. They come with a little cheesy case, cheesy strap, these set of rubber coated 10 by 42 binos, and we're going to be testing those out today, so stick around. Alright, so what we're testing today is I had a set of Crossfire HD 12 by 50s and these 10 by 42s from TEMU, and we're going to be putting them through the paces. We're going to be looking through the binos, giving you guys a feel for what the clarity looks like. We're going to be doing a drop test just to see what happens to them, and a couple other things, and then I'll give my final thoughts on these things. We're going to be putting these TEMU $25 binoculars up against the Vortex $250 and just seeing what's the best bang for our buck. I think it all depends on what you're using them for, but we'll be covering those things today. Those look pretty nice. Again, those are the Crossfire HDs. There is the red truck at 120 yards. Now we'll be filming with the TEMU binos, doing the exact same pan, and ending up on the exact same red truck. I definitely would have to say that the clarity appears to me, I can't see them side by side, but from what I remember, seems real similar. But really, I feel like the clarity of this thing is really good. Again, we're at 5 degrees outside, and I literally just brought these out. I went inside for a couple of minutes and then came right back out. You know, and the lens is fogged up, but we're right back to clear. All right, so these binos have been sitting out here for at least a half hour in 5 degrees, and we're going to bring them inside and we're going to set them on the table where it's obviously about 70 degrees. And I'm going to try to set the action camera so that it can see through the lens, just so we can see the fog, and do a little time lapse of that. We're going to bring these in and see how they do. All right, so we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time on the Vortex, but we're really going to be looking more at the TEMU binoculars, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what you can expect if you order these things. So they're going to come inside this box along with this kind of just generic cheesy little case, nothing that you would probably take out in the woods with you, but it has a strap on it, it has a lens cleaning cloth, and then it also has this phone mount, which I think comes in handy. It just kind of opens up spring-loaded. You put your phone in there, and like a lot of the modern cell phones nowadays has multiple cameras, so it just has this knob that you would loosen and kind of move to adjust that to where your camera sits, and then you can put that onto the binoculars and take video with that. I think it's a nice little option that it comes with. It also comes with front and rear guards that usually, if you're like me, you're taking those things off because I really don't want to deal with those. So again, they're 10 by 42. There is no visible name brand at all on these things. Even the box, there is nothing on here as far as model. It just says Binoculars Dolphins. Manufacturer is Nanyang Boyan Optoelectronics. Interesting. Country of origin, China, of course. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're ordering off a TEMU, made in China. Got bad news for you. So are the Vortex. As far as the optics go, they're somewhat comparable. You know, I think the Vortex are better, but at the same time, they're 10 times the price of these. So it comes with a cheesy little strap here that obviously I will not be using at all. I'll probably be adding these to my budget Bino harness here, or I'll use just that standard crossover set of straps that you can get by Alan, made by Alan. So on to the next test. Something I've been wanting to do, and we're going to do a drop test on these things and see what I think we're going to do is we're going to drop these from about 8 feet and let them hit the floor and just see how they hold up. All right, so first up in the drop test is the vortex, and what we're going to do is I'm going to hold these up the ceiling at just about 7.5 feet, and we're going to drop them kind of diagonally and let them hit right here and see what happens. So here goes. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Well, I guess now I can look in 2 different directions at the same time. That's cool. Not so cool for the binos though. Well, in all fairness, these were actually already broke. My brother-in-law had them in the deer blind this year and dropped them from about 3 to 4 feet, just like this. They hit and broke. So in reality, these were already broke. But I thought it'd be funny just to kind of show that. So we're going to repeat the same test with the TEMU binoculars. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, they pretty much broke the same way right here at the hinge. There's like a pin still holding it together, but these are definitely broke. So if you're being entertained so far, subscribe to the channel and then watch later on for a follow-up where we'll be putting an arrow right down the middle of these things. That's always fun to do. All right, so let's go to the scoreboard real quick. So as far as clarity goes, I'm calling it a tie. However, I'll give a slight edge to Vortex. More than likely, they are going to do better in low light conditions, which I really didn't even test just due to where we're at right now. As far as holding up to the hot and the cold, I'm going to call that a tie as well, because these both sat outside for over a half hour to 45 minutes and then came into the heat, and both had condensation on them after 10 minutes. Had equal kind of clarity after that. So I'm calling that a tie. Drop test, I'm calling that a tie as well, because these only fell in the deer blind about 4 feet and they broke, and these fell from about 7.5 and they broke. So I'm going to call that a tie as well, just because I really couldn't duplicate those exactly. And then as far as support wise, I know these come with a lifetime warranty. These do not. So I'm going to give the slight edge to the Vortex, because in reality, if you're going to keep these as long-term use, you're probably going to buy 2 or 3 sets of these when you could have just bought a set of Vortex. However, if you're looking for another set to keep in the deer blind, if you're looking for a set to keep in the truck, you're looking for a starter set, or for a younger kid, I think this is a great set. I think it's well worth the 25 bucks. I have 2 or 3 sets of these. That's what's nice about some of the cheaper binoculars, is that I have multiple sets. I have a set in the truck. I have a set in one of the backpacks. I have a set in with my shooting supplies so I can take it to the range, instead of having always hunt out that one particular set. So I think there's a time and a place for cheap budget binoculars. I think there's also a time and a place for the Vortex. However, I'm giving the slight edge to the Vortex. So weight-wise, the TEMU Binos are coming in at 528 grams. The Vortex are coming in at 818 grams. So weight-wise, they are significantly more. However, size-wise, they're also larger. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the testing. Like I said in the video, be watching for a video where I'm going to be shooting these out. I'm going to try and shoot right down the barrel of the lens. So that's always a fun test. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it. Put it in the comments down below. Would you buy these budget TEMU binoculars, or would you buy the Vortex? I really want to hear your guys' opinions, so put it in the comments down below. As always, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.